Good morning. Welcome back to the KR Daily Transmission. So good to see everyone coming on this morning. Wishing you a very beautiful and blessed morning, or wherever you are in the world, day or evening. We've been walking through chapter 1 of the Sophia Code. And today I would like to share about a quote from page 5. So if you have your copy of the Sophia Code, feel free to pull it out, and we're going to be starting at the bottom of page 5. Good morning, welcome. And I'm just going to read some of your comments. It's so lovely to see everyone. Heaven on Earth is sharing that they're going through such a rough time at the moment, and it's so good to see you pop online. I'm so happy to hear that. This was the reason why I wanted to start coming online on YouTube regularly. It was because I knew that we were all going through such challenging times. And just to hear that it's having an impact and it's helping you means so much to me. So thank you for sharing your reflection. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Muriel. Good morning, bonjour to Elizabeth. Good morning, Fernanda. So good to see everyone coming on. Someone named M is saying, I want to send you my deepest gratitude for these wonderful daily transmissions. What an insightful and inspiring journey it will be to go through the Sophia Code line by line. That means everything to me. Thank you for sharing that. I know it's a lot of content. It's so good to see you too, Sophia. Thank you. And it feels incredibly important because everyone's talking about sovereignty from the agenda and the narrative. But if we don't understand the source of our sovereignty, if we don't understand why our sovereignty can never actually be taken away from us, regardless of what's happening on a global stage or with this, narrative that we're all doing our best to navigate during these very extreme times. If we don't understand the source of our sovereignty, we're not understanding the source of our true empowerment. And it's, good morning, Uni. It's absolutely vital that we're going deeper into what Sophia is sharing with us about the origin of our sovereign divinity and why this literally allows for us to live an extraordinary life, regardless of what's happening anywhere on the planet. Esther is writing in that she's feeling like a lot of challenging times as well, and that she's thankful that she gets to be with all of us here this morning. And she's sending her love and blessings to us. Thank you so much for sharing, Esther. Good morning, Donna. It's so lovely to feel everyone coming online. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and your feedback. I also had a chance to read your comments from yesterday's video, and that was really fun to be able to take in your reflections. And one of the comments was, I was really grateful for the feedback. It was, someone was sharing that it was a little challenging for her to meditate with the visualization that I was offering because I was going a little fast. And that happens sometimes for me. There's so much information that always wants to come through. There's such a deep desire to want to help as many people as possible simultaneously. And it is a lot of energy to navigate daily lives. So I want to thank you for your understanding. And if there's moments in the meditation that feel a little fast, I know that you can play the video slower, and you can also just take the visualization that I'm offering you and practice it on your own at your own pace. Totally appropriate to do that and perfectly reasonable. And I also loved hearing about how much these videos are supporting your daily journey. And, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please be sure to do that. Please be sure to like this video. Your comments on the replay are extremely helpful and supportive for this movement. So I want to thank you in advance for taking those actions in support of the KR Daily Transmission. So Today, I wanted to share how connecting with your higher self is how we can look to these principles of the womb and the Sophia and the light of creation, how we can look to these principles in regards to receiving information from our higher self and directly from our source. And I'm really excited to share these insights. And we're going to start this morning at the bottom of page 5 in the Sophia Code. So if you have your copy of the Sophia Code, that's where we're headed. Excuse me. As David is writing in, what do I do to watch the replay? The replay for the lives appears on my channel almost within 5 minutes after the live. So you can just pop back on and offer your feedback at any point throughout the day or even the following day after you've integrated what you're receiving from these videos. Oh, so beautiful to see you as well. Good morning. So at the bottom of page 5, this is still the words of Sophia from chapter 1 of the Sophia Code. And Sophia is sharing, I just love these words. So if you want to read them together out loud, we can do that. These are the words of Sophia on the page, bottom of page 5. This present moment is an invitation to feel your sovereign soul abiding within our perfect union. The self-realization of your divine human potential on earth requires a full relinquishing of the illusion that we are separate. Although this illusion has previously served your soul's expansion, it no longer serves you now. You now live in the dawning golden age of miracles, in which every aspect of your true self can be embodied through the conscious remembrance of our absolute oneness. So I'm going to go back. Good morning, Sabine. Sabine is one of our Sophia Circle leaders that you can go on a Sophia Circle journey through the Sophia Code with. If you'd like to learn more about our Sophia Circle leaders, we have a directory on my website under at the bottom of the homepage. You'll find a link to the directory. And I just adore our Sophia Circle leaders, and our next certification program starts this year. And if you'd like to learn more, you can contact my team angels at kaira.com. Okay, so on bottom of page 5, let's go back to this. Oh, that's a really great question that's just coming in. How can we serve feelings of numbness these days? That's a really good question. And we're going to answer questions very similar to this tomorrow, which is Friday, our Q&A day on YouTube Live. But this is a really great passage to start with answering that question. The way that we navigate staying in the truth of our feelings and connection to our body is to find the safety that we access through our direct connection to source. And this is where it begins in this paragraph. Let's read it again. This present moment is an invitation to feel your sovereign soul abiding within our perfect union. So for 2 pages, pages 4 and 5, Sophia is going on and on and on about, the depth of your sovereign divinity, the absoluteness of it, the wholeness of it that she's given to you as she birthed your soul into this multiverse, this universe of creation. And so what she's saying at the bottom of page 5 is, she gave you a free will. You are absolutely sovereign. And you are an aspect of God. You literally were made in the image and likeness of the source, with all of the same divine qualities that source is. Source could only create aspects of itself. And so you became an aspect of God with a unique personality that we call a Keycode, a personality that goes beyond the ego structure. It's a personality that is a arrangement of all of the divine qualities that God is, as your soul, that's unique to you. And because you are divinity and you are a hologram of that divine light, you are sovereign. You are sovereign from any world of form that you would incarnate into. What does that mean? It means that the invincible light within you can incarnate into any matrix, into any planetary system, and explore the laws of physics, the laws of physicality of that planet, but that you can spiritually awaken within that body, within that planet, within that incarnation, and discover that your divine light can download into that planet and into that body and create beyond the rules of that matrix, beyond the rules of that programming. It's the incredible good news of the Sophia Code. And it's what the masters have been teaching for thousands of years. It's yet another love letter from the source through these master teachers, sharing the truth of your soul. What's unique to the Sophia Code is we talk about how these divine qualities manifest in the subatomic universe of your body as a divine genome that can be activated and that can be consciously connected to your physical body, every cell of your body, and that the light that's streaming into your divine genome can create bridges of light to your biological DNA, and therefore upgrading the consciousness of your body, heart, and mind through this very sophisticated and beautiful spiritual transmission that already exists within you. This is happening between your higher self and your physical body, between your connection to source and your higher self and your physical body. And so what she's saying is, because she's blessed you with all of the spiritual technology, because your soul is sovereign, Sophia is saying that you're always abiding in a perfect union with her consciousness, because where else could you exist? There's nowhere outside of God that you could exist. Now, religious programming, the programming of this matrix, would have you believe that God is outside of you, that somehow you're separate from God consciousness, that it's something you have to attain or achieve, that your body is a sinner, or somehow lacking, and none of that is true. The good news of the Sophia Code is that your sovereign wholeness exists in all ways, forever, eternally. And the journey of becoming spiritually awakened is the journey of recognizing and embracing and embodying the truth of the wholeness that you already are. As we choose to accept that we are sovereign and whole and divine, it changes our relationship with being human. It changes our relationship with our body. It changes our relationship with each other. It changes our relationship with our divine purpose. From the perspective of this perfect union with God consciousness that is always here, both within you and all around you, what seems impossible becomes possible. Your highest potential becomes accessible, because you discover that your highest potential has nothing to do with the limitations of your humanity. It has everything to do with accessing the unlimited divine nature of your soul and allowing that unlimited divine nature of your soul to be expressed through your daily human life. Isn't that the good news? So Sophia is saying in this next sentence, the self-realization of your divine human potential on earth requires a full relinquishing of the illusion that we are separate. So when you choose to every day, just a little bit more, choose to become closer to this connection to whatever you call God, Sophia, Great Spirit, Christ consciousness, the One, whatever that source energy is, as you allow yourself to consciously connect to it in your daily practice, you are step by step dismantling the belief, you are dissolving the belief that you are separate from God consciousness. What happens when you dissolve that belief? You start to incrementally believe in your daily connection to the source. You start to incrementally integrate that this connection that you have with your source can support you, can radiate through you, can download divine solutions into your heart. So we have a really great question that's coming in from someone named, or someone's handle, The Real Solomon. How do we maintain the awareness that we are abiding within the source? I always forget in the moment and get caught in old habits of negative thinking. I just want to thank you for your beautiful comment and your question. It's so authentic and genuine, and you're not alone in that feeling, because we all go through moments, and sometimes even days or even weeks of our life, where we forget how powerful this source connection is. And it's one of the reasons why I've committed to being here so often on YouTube Live, to help support our community to stay focused upon the truth of our source. And good morning, Kathy. So great to see you. So here's the thing. It's just a daily practice. It's simply choosing the first moment you get up that you're going to call in that circle of empowerment, and you're going to make a prayer or set an intention or invoke that throughout the day, you're going to very casually and beautifully turn your thoughts back to the source connection within you, back to the presence of your higher self breathing within you, back to this light and this womb space that gave birth to your soul. Even when we reset with 3 mindful breaths at different junctures throughout the day, just 3 deep breaths, you're recalibrating your mind to remember that you are not alone, that there is this divine consciousness speaking from every cell of your body, guiding you every single day of your life. And the more we soften into that daily practice, which I understand, the beginning of my daily practice, it wasn't easy, but the more we choose that practice, we become the masters that remember more often. We step more and more into our sovereign divine light, and we allow ourselves the grace and the space to bask in that connection just a little bit more, just a little bit more. The more we incrementally allow ourselves to enjoy the divinity that is within us and all around us, the easier it gets to remember to connect. It's just like a muscle. Memory is a muscle. Our spiritual practice is a muscle. And we have to be willing to flex those muscles and be willing to show up. And one of the ways that is really powerful to just set a reminder, perhaps through your day, you could set a little alarm that goes off, where pick a magical number for you, like 11:11 or 4:44 or 3:33. And just for 1 to 5 minutes, you breathe and practice breathing into that light within your heart. Practice breathing into that womb space of your direct connection to the source, and allow that source to breathe through you. I hope some of these tips are helpful. Let's keep going. It's a great question. So the next sentence says, although this illusion has previously served your soul's expansion, it no longer serves you now. You now live in the dawning golden age of miracles, in which every aspect of your true self can be embodied through the conscious remembrance of our absolute oneness. So what serves us? Good morning. What serves us? I love that comment. Shirley is writing in, my Sophia wristlet, her cuff, the beautiful piece of jewelry that from our Sophia collection, reminds her to connect. Magdalena Media is writing in, the Ascended Masters help me remember to connect more often. Ashley is writing in that the soul power journey that she participated in teaches the process of coming back to ourselves through the feelings and experiences that come up for our ascension journey. I love all this feedback that's coming in. Thank you for sharing. And I'm actually wearing this cuff right now. And it's this beautiful hand-pounded cuff with engraved teachings from the Sofia Code. This one is the Sofia Cuff. I adore this cuff. When I want to maintain my connection, like if I'm really deepening how I'm going to be remembering and my daily connection to the source, to let go of fears and anxieties, I put on this wristlet because it keeps my consciousness continually pinging the truth of what's written here. And it says, Divine Mother Creatrix of all life, one source, and a womb of no thing. So it's connecting us to those two aspects of Divine Mother consciousness that provide a foundational set point for how to engage with our higher self. So I want to close with how this works. What does the womb space represent for us? It represents the silence that we need to come into to listen for the guidance that we need to receive. So when you're connecting with that primordial womb space, you're saying, I relinquish small ideas about myself. Just like this passage, Sophia is teaching us, we have to relinquish small ideas about ourselves. We have to be willing to give up our attachments to all of those voices inside of our head that say, we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not spiritual enough, we're not disciplined enough. All of those voices can still be talking, but we don't have to listen to them. We can return through 1 minute, 5 minutes of prayer and meditation back to the stillness within that primordial space that is symbolized by the womb of all of creation. And we can feel how the unconditional divine love of Sophia, that one divine mother, creatrix of all life, is breathing with us there. She is the presence of unconditional love, and she is embracing us there, both within us and all around us. And then as we walked through the visualization yesterday with the light of creation arising from the womb, what is that? Well, the light of creation carries information. It carries the building blocks of the foundational building blocks of physical reality. The light of creation is the very first manifestation of all form. And it's the very quantum fabric of what all physical reality is built upon. So when we come into the presence of God consciousness, that is the light of all of creation, of all that is, this light represents to us the information, the healing, the wisdom, the creative solutions that we can access when we become still enough within that primordial space within us. I mean, when you close your eyes, what happens? It goes black, it goes dark. There's a stillness from which your communion with Sophia, your higher self, your divinity, allows for information to come forward. And you can ask questions of this still space within you. And if you're attuning yourself to the peace of that space within you, you'll be ready to hear answers that you might not want to hear, but you may need to hear as divine guidance from your higher self. Including when, as Sophia is sharing in this chapter 1 reading, when you are believing honestly lies about yourself instead of the truth about how beautiful you are, how whole you are, how intelligent you are, that your feelings are important, that your intuition is on point. I can feel some resistance already in the field just from me saying that. And that's what you're going to face when you go within. Your spiritual awakening to the truth of your sovereign divinity involves navigating an extraordinary amount of resistance to how special you are, how beautiful you are, how perfect you already are. And it's our great get to do the inner work that is required to really be with the emotions and feelings and the belief systems that are crying out to be released, dismantled, healed, so that you can step even more boldly into the truth of your sovereign divine light, the perfection of your human journey, the bliss of your communion with God is happening right now, no matter how much you may feel as though you are suffering, no matter how many challenges that you face. And we are all facing extraordinary challenges in these times. Everyone, myself included, please know that. But what's different about our mystery school community, what's different about the Sofia Cuff community is we've been training for years in these ascension teachings with the ascended masters, with the Sofia Code as a sacred text. We've been getting ready for these times. And if you're new to this book and you're new to this channel, I want to extend a warm welcome to you and let you know that we have an incredible spectrum of ascension education programs that can help you start navigating how to embody your higher self, how to create sacred space for yourself, how to create mentor relationships with the ascended masters and your angelic spiritual guides that protect you and guide you and support you, to know that you are deeply connected and you are not alone in these extreme times of change on the planet. I want to share my immense gratitude for us to even be exploring the concept that this divine mother of all life is continually and forever thinking about you. I want to thank you for your willingness to consider that God loves you this much. I want to thank you for your willingness to explore that the source consciousness that gave birth to all life gave birth to you. You're important, you matter. Your divine purpose matters. And as we walk through this journey in the Sophia Code, not only do we discover the value, the incredible value of embodying the higher self-consciousness, we discover what happens over time from accepting these aspects of divinity within us by embodying our higher self. We discover that life becomes new and different and more empowered. And that's where we start to long to help others to discover that same empowerment within them. And so I'm going to be talking a lot about spiritual leadership over the next few months. I have a Sovereign Spiritual Leadership Conference. It's coming up in Austin this May, Austin, Texas, which I'm super excited to go be with our beloveds in Austin. And we also have Sophia Circle Leadership, our certification program, and our incredible leadership training program. That enrollment is now open for 2022. So this is the time for us to not only explore our sovereignty, embrace our sovereignty, and embody our sovereignty, but to lead from that context that this world holds no power over us. The dark agendas that are at play here, they cannot control your destiny. They cannot control the joy that you are here to live. If you are willing to, become very clear about your daily practice and really embracing what these teachings are offering you, the truth of your sovereign divine light is also a sovereign creator of a new paradigm. And we're here to create that new paradigm together as an international community. So from my heart to yours, thank you so much for taking a moment to read the Sophia Code with me this morning. It's been such a pleasure to reconnect with you. And I'll see you back here live tomorrow, and I'll be taking your questions live for the KR Daily Transmission on Friday. So have a beautiful, blessed day or evening wherever you are in the world. And I wanted to also congratulate those people in the United Kingdom or parts of the United Kingdom where I'm hearing that mandates are being lifted. All sorts of interesting new legislation is coming forward. And the bells of freedom are ringing in some exciting new places. And that seemed to have happened almost overnight, and with not a lot of coverage from the US media, because it does go against the narrative. So an interesting turn of events. I just want to remind each and every one of us that as humanity continues to awaken, unexpected quantum realities can come forward where greater freedom, prosperity, and just pure old sanity can finally step forward and ground into reality again. So I'm celebrating any breakthrough of freedom for our planet and for humanity. I'm sending you all my love today. Have a beautiful and blessed day wherever you are in the world. Namaste.